What about if I did a little something like this?
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop
like
podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffey Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all, as well as the podcast, on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 135 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we're joined by one of my favorite makers. He served his country, served his city, and most recently served the maker community with awe-inspiring projects, engaging content, and fun, playful attitude that'll keep you coming back for more. It is my honor to present our sire, the Lord Officer Daddy himself, Jonny Aloysius Lambert III, also known as Jonny Builds.
Hey! Woo! Pete,
Hey guys.
fire intro, man. Fire intro. As
Every
per
week.
usual.
I had to bing your whole title.
Yeah, it was. You had to pull the whole thing up off of Bing, huh? That's the only place to find his full
Scottish
legal
Wikipedia.
Christian name. Micpedia or whatever they call it over there. No, big thanks to Jonny for joining us this week. We really appreciate you joining us, man. We'll go into the story about how tough it's been to be to get you on the show, and we'll obviously throw Dan under the bus while we do that.
Oh, cool. That's why I'm wearing my yellow shirt. It just
Schedules
blends
are
in.
hard to read.
Right, so you don't get hit by buses.
It just blends in.
Oh yeah, right. It's your bus shirt. No, but real quick, I want to thank our patrons. Big thank you to them. You guys are amazing. We have a new patron this week. That is Justin Addy. He is our new VIP patron.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks to him.
Thank
You're
you.
the man.
Top tier patron too.
Look, yeah, he came in hot with his Patreon money. I don't know.
What do you like?
Thanks for the money. Oh, Jonny was like, I don't really want to talk about my career as a cop. Now he's got his badge on right in the thing.
Ossifer.
No, Officer Daddy. I don't like
Poppy,
saying it. It makes me
Poppy.
really uncomfortable.
I love it though.
You say Poppy?
His eyes lighten up every time somebody says Officer Daddy. He's like, yes,
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
you rang?
No, I mean, thanks for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate you being here.
We've only been asking
us
you to be
your-
here since WorkbenchCon 2020, I think. Or 2022.
Give us the Pete asks the question better, and I'm gonna let him ask it in a minute here, but give us the Jonny Builds elevator pitch. Who are you? And Pete, say it. Finish it.
Who the hell do you think you are? You're wasting my time. You have till the 9th floor. Go.
Okay. Hi, gentlemen. Thank you
Hi.
for having me on.
I'm Officer Daddy.
This is Daddy Builds.
You have to say like Daddy.
Professor-
There's something there.
Professor Inspector Daddy Builds.
Oh God.
No, I'm the who the hell that I think that I am. I am a maker and a content creator who has found some luck and success, and just I'd like to make fun stuff and be really goofy in my videos and kind of just be myself, and that's what I like to do.
Well,
Nice.
we all enjoy it. I especially enjoy it. But I enjoy the fact that you used to be a real woodworker and now you have a CNC and you're just pretending.
Just phoning it in.
But I push buttons.
You just
now.
push
That's what I
buttons.
do.
Buy files on
Yeah.
Etsy. We get it.
I just like how you can
Yeah.
throw all the wood on the bed and then hit that button and it just spits stuff out. That's
That's
the
it.
coolest
It's
part.
amazing. It's
It
amazing.
reads your
Definitely.
thoughts.
Get a CNC. It does all the work for you. You just sit back, sip latte, and it's amazing.
And when's the
milk
first
latte.
time you started working with wood or making? When's the first time that you were like, oh, this is a thing? What is your origin story? What has been your woodworking journey?
Oh, God.
Don't
Don't stop
And then,
believing.
and then I'm
Johnny.
gonna ask you what your favorite wood is.
My favorite wood is your mom. No. You knew that was coming.
He's the lovely
Uh,
one.
Well, I think we got a show
like your
title
mom.
already.
Your mom with
mothers out
Officer
of
Daddy.
this. Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
Yeah, like,
You have no
when-
idea how much that quote is appreciated here.
Yeah. When did all this start though? Like seriously, what kind of made you think that this is the thing you want to do for forever?
Yeah. So about 5 years ago, I was sick of buying like crappy furniture at Target and Walmart, and I decided I wanted to make my own crappy furniture out of 2x4.
I have to pause you because this is literally everyone's origin story that we have on the show, and ours as well. Go ahead.
I think mine has a bit of a twist, but maybe not. I
Right.
don't know.
Scorpions.
So-
Yeah, we know.
That's a scorpion.
So I did not go to YouTube. I went to Amazon and researched DIY books, and
Interesting.
Smart.
the
That's
top
one way to go.
Yeah, the tops, because I read a lot of books back then. Now I'm much dumber and I can't read. The top search result, like however many years ago, was Ben Ueda's Homemade Modern book.
Really?
And I bought it. I had no idea that he had a YouTube channel. I bought his book, and it was some really cool but really simple, straightforward DIY projects, and I was just enamored with it. I was like, oh, this is interesting and cool and simple. And he's using a circular saw and a drill and a sander, and that's all I need. So I went out and I bought those tools. I bought a Ryobi like toolkit in a bag kind of thing, where you get like
the dark
Yeah.
blue
Yeah,
one with the yellow
19
accents.
tools for $89.
I had that one.
yeah.
The classic blue and yellow.
I just got rid of the drill like at the beginning of this year. I think I just got rid of it.
First thing to die is
Yeah.
the flashlight.
Oh
Always.
yeah, the flashlight was dead on arrival.
By the way, the flashlight was surprisingly good.
Not in my bag.
Surprisingly good.
I think my bulb died and I never replaced it.
No, mine was amazing. So anyways, the project on the cover of that book was this like media console with like these like inverted what is it, the plumbing pipe legs, which was hot for a while, and that was the first thing I built. I didn't realize
Like copper pipe?
Oh, no.
Black pipe.
Like
Oh yeah,
gas-
yeah.
gas
Oh
pipe.
yeah.
Yeah.
The desk I'm sitting at has the black pipe legging. I can't believe I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
What a
So
moron.
what I didn't realize, it was about $20 in lumber and about $350 in black pipe.
That's the title of the
Then-
show. $350 in black.
But-
All right.
Anyways, thank you, Johnny. Thank you for joining us. See, that was so bad that
Good
they
night.
blurred Dan.
Cheers. Cheers.
Good night.
All right. $350 in black pipe with Johnny
A
Builds.
carafe of beer.
Let's not repeat it. It was a bad idea on my part. I apologize.
I applaud bad dad jokes 1,000%. Yeah. So no, I
is early.
just started building stuff out of his book. And then I found his
That's
YouTube
sick.
channel, and through his YouTube channel, I found Mike Montgomery, because they were very similar back then. And then I found like Jimmy DeResta and Steve Ramsey, and just went down the rabbit hole. And when those guys, Ben and Mike, and then Chris Salamone started their podcast, a lot of the stuff in the early days of their podcast was about creating a YouTube channel. And so being about 15 years into my career, I knew that I wanted a change. And so I'm like, maybe this is the thing that takes me away from my day job and allows me to start a business. So that was kind of like the goal from like day one.
Now with
Interesting.
that,
That's
I-
a lot of foresight, honestly.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say something else that started with 4.
I want to
and an
actually
S.
touch on that exact thing because I watched your video about you retiring, and
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but you were just ready to quit like 3 years ago, right? You were ready to just go, but you wanted to finish out the pension and everything. And
Yeah.
you had I like, not to get all big words here, but like a paradigm shift. I think we were
Hold
talking
on.
with Ben.
Hold on. I got to Google that word. What
Bing
the
it.
heck?
Paradigm spelled with a silent Z. Of like, you were ready because you were like, I just need to get this. I want to get it done. I want to get going. But somebody had told you that no, use these 3 years as the prep, the training, the build up, like build the base that you're gonna grow your empire on, type of stuff. So, who was that? If correct me, because I thought it was Ben, but I may have missed that part in the video.
It was Ben
Yeah.
Ueda. And that's one of the cool things. It's like Ben is how I got started, and now I can count him as a friend, who I can call up and just chat with anytime. So that's just one of the things that's amazing about this community is, you get to meet your heroes, and often you get to become friends with your heroes. But yeah, so I was back in 2019. I was out in Joshua Tree at the little gathering that Ben had, that he called Makesgiving. And we were just like on a trip to Home Depot, and I'm just like lamenting the fact that I'm like, oh man, I just want to be full time. Like I'm seeing all these other full time makers, and I'm just like serious FOMO. They're living the dream, and I'm just like, I want to do that. I want to do it now, and I'm like ready to quit my job. And Ben was like, dude, like, what you have isn't a curse, it's a blessing. Like, use this time as a sort of, what's a good way to put this?
Creating a springboard, or
Well, not even that. Like you kind of have, you can experiment and you can fail because you have
gotcha.
your
Fallback.
career to fall back on, right? But like use this time to kind of figure out like who you are and what you want to be, and like what your online presence is, and what your YouTube presence is. And it really, really kind of hit me right between the eyes. Like I was like, okay, that's kind of like you said, it's a paradigm shift. Like, I was
There's
thinking
that word again.
Yeah. Well, you can look it up later.
It's a shift in mindset, Dan.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, now I got to look up mindset.
Love this man.
And
Can you
shift.
please
Can
you blur your background, please?
You want me to just blur everything?
Yeah, blur everything.
Can you
please.
blur your audio? Is that
No.
Get further away.
Just blur your face.
Don't.
The rest can stay in focus.
See,
Actually,
I don't know how to do that.
Getting tight on your face. I'd prefer that.
There's a reason I asked you specifically about that part, since you mentioned it, because
No.
a lot of our listeners, they see people going full time and everything, and that's the goal. But
Yeah.
like you did take a look at, you're like, hey, like, let me build a base, let me try some stuff and fail and see how it works. And did you ever fail? Would you say you ever failed?
Have you watched his
Oh.
channel?
Absolutely. Like,
I mean, that's why he's got
there-
other people to break things for him, and he can't break them.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
that's the thing. Failure is not a negative. Failure is the path to success.
Absolutely.
1,000%. You guys know that. Like,
Yes.
you will not be successful unless you're willing to fail. Period. Like, you have to get punched in the mouth, and you have to get up and say, okay, I'm going to get punched in the mouth again because that felt good, and I want that prize at the end of that rainbow. Like, failure is a good thing. Yeah. Like just get comfortable with failure. Yeah. That's like, that's step one in becoming whatever you want to be, no matter what it is, whatever. If you want to be a content creator, or if you want to be an athlete,
You can't be scared.
Like,
you can't be scared. You got to be fearless.
oh, you know what? I think you can be scared. I think you just
Yeah,
get
if you're a little
comfortable.
Channel
You
it as
can't be
motivation.
scared, so scared that you don't do
No, no.
anything.
No, you really
Yeah,
you can't exactly.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
No,
well, yeah.
you have to understand that there's an element of that there. If you don't understand there's failure, then you're never gonna have fear. To be brave, you have to be scared, kind of a thing. Like for sure. Like I for sure, totally agree.
Very, very well said. Yeah.
So yeah, you need to understand that like
Yeah.
you're taking risks, and that if you don't take any risks, you're never gonna experience life. So like just get out there and do it. But like obviously your channel's at like over 500,000 subs, and you're about to hit 550,000. And obviously overall you're seeing success. I'm sure you're seeing individual videos as failures. Is probably how you look at it. There's probably videos where you're trying something and it didn't land with your audience, and that's kind of the fun of being a content creator, right? Like you're trying new things to see what hits. I mean, that's the fun part. Because what if you find that new thing that hits hard, and you're like, oh, this is boom, it just does this. I mean, you've had that happen a few times on your channel.
Oh, I should be woodworking bottomless. People love this.
Yeah.
Daddy builds.
It's
Look, if you don't lean into the daddy builds thing, we can't help you.
Second channel.
Right.
first of all, it's Lord Daddy Builds.
Yeah. And second of all, we're taking a
Idiots.
10% cut of that. You signed the
Oh,
contract.
If you can buy a plot of land in Nebraska from Dan
You can.
and become like, slightly white trash.
I can't wait to see I can't wait to see where this goes, Pete. I was waiting for you to have like just a fire joke, but then you made that one. So that's all right.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
There's no titles in Nebraska except for like with Taco John's is like the only title.
Taco
out there.
John.
Runs
Most
up.
authentic Mexican
Runs
restaurant.
Taco Johnny's. Thank you very much.
Taco
Johnny.
Johnny. Poppy Taco Johnny's.
Poppy
Um,
Bills.
All right.
Poppy Builds.
Poppy builds. Oh my God. Yes.
Showtime.
I Poppy Builds. All right.
I
No,
Poppy Bills.
no, all right. Well, hey, that was really awesome. That was really
This
good.
is off the rails. I love
Breakdown
it.
of who you are. No. That was fantastic. That was really great. Thanks, dude. We're gonna go into. We didn't really explain our segments to you, so they're gonna be surprises to you. But we're gonna go into our main segment here, which is called "What's on My Bench," and it's started this way. By Dan singing, and we're just gonna like go round robin, talk about what we're working on this week, what we got going on, what projects, what videos, whatever content we got going on. Johnny, why don't you go first?
Ooh, what is on my bench?
And keep in mind that what's on my bench is kind of a metaphor for what's going on in your life.
What's the deepest thing you ever said, Dan?
Well, it's my
Hey,
says
what's
it
going
every-
on in
my
your
Taco
life
John roots coming
this
out.
month, and what are you looking forward to in the near future? Since you don't do this every week yet.
I like how all three of us just explained what's on my bench is.
It's more of a way you feel. It's a way of life.
My answer
It's a
is
journey.
the same. What's on my bench? Your mom.
All right, that was short.
Hi, Poppy.
Hi, Bobby.
I'm gonna send you a picture of my mom. You're gonna feel bad.
Dorothy Mantooth is a
Is
saint.
a saint. Dorothy Dunlap is a saint.
She is.
So, in all seriousness,
Mhm.
what is on my bench? I wrapped a build today for a video that's coming out on Sunday.
Can't wait.
And then I am. Thank you.
I
starting.
legitimately like your videos. I'm gonna say
Thank
a
you.
lot of things that sound like I don't like you, but legitimately, I like your videos. You're one of my faves.
Thank you. I appreciate.
does
that.
mention
And
it
This one
often.
is if you like the goofy side of Jonny Builds,
I don't.
you will really. Oh well,
Oh no.
you can. You
I'm
can
in
go
it
to
for the
hell.
male bravado.
You can go straight to hell. Well, I'll tell you what. I live in Nebraska, so I win.
It could be worse. You could live in Oklahoma.
That's true.
Oh man.
Oklahoma.
Man.
is
I
it?
think that's like the
Oh,
only state where
cell
property
phone.
value is lower than Nebraska. It's Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's how I get. To live
My
on
wife.
ranch.
I'm sorry to derail this. My wife and I legitimately looked at buying property in Oklahoma City about a year and a half ago because it was so cheap.
I think it's just okay.
Bro.
Okay.
God. Okay.
All right, sorry, Johnny. Continue. I'm sorry.
I see. New video Sunday.
Oh,
Goofy.
yeah.
No pants.
Goofy video. No pants.
Ooh,
Some
I'm listening.
epoxy experiments. But tomorrow we are, and I say we, me and Hefe, my
Android using
lovely
friend.
assistant. Yes. That uses an Android phone, and he will be fired if he doesn't change
Right.
By January 1.
I see.
You
What
don't need to
bubble.
correct your behavior, Jeff.
Yeah. No. I one of the most successful things in my channel is when I build things for my daughter or my wife. And my next 2 videos are for my daughter and for my wife. So
There you go.
Christmas is coming up.
The bed you made for your daughter was chef's kiss. Amazing. Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I have to be kind of quiet because she might hear me, but
She's not going to listen to this tripe.
I'm never going to listen to this.
well, she won't listen to it, but she may hear me
Here.
downstairs because I'm a loud talker. So
Close talker.
I built her a bed
Seinfeld reference.
and a desk. Nice. A bed and then I built the desk first.
Oh, yeah, the
then
desk. I
bed.
like the desk with the...
Yeah,
What was the T word?
tessellation.
Tessellation pattern.
Oh, that he knows.
Yeah, floating tessellation.
Nice.
So now she needs a chair to go with that, but that's not what she asked for. She asked for this stupid like bench that she can put a plant on, and
What
she
the
wants
heck?
this exact replica from Anthropology, and I'm like, okay. So I am building her that. But that's
Got
just
you, baby boo.
the fake. That's the fake project, and I'm building her
Right.
a chair to match the bed and the desk, and kind of be the cohesive piece that ties
The
that together.
trifecta.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna Are you gonna do it like a real
You guys-
woodworker, or are you gonna use a CNC?
I'm gonna push buttons. Thank
Oh, you dirty
very
son of a
much.
bee!
Pushing Dan's
Yeah.
button right now.
Man, I can't believe this.
Dan, do you not have a CNC?
I have a CNC. It's just
Oh,
a
100%,
joke.
like 95% of his business
Yeah.
is CNC.
I'll bet it's like 98% currently. It's pretty up there.
Oh, is it?
It's pretty on par right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I don't follow him, but
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Ouch. Ugh. Never meet your heroes. Oh.
Jamesies.
I'm just kidding. No, hold on.
Samesies.
Where's my phone? I'm following you right now. And
Okay. All right.
This
Hold
is
on,
a real
what is all
Dunlap
this-
energy situation going on here too.
What? Well, Daniel, what is all this?
That's a lot of bow ties.
kerfuffle with this dyes oil. What's
I
going
don't
on
know.
there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Scroties.
We don't talk about it. We don't
Uh,
talk
oh.
about that.
Odie's VPN.
Lord Odie's VPN.
What a scam. All right, go on.
Established finishes.
That
Fucking-
sounds actually legit.
It's a scam.
Wow.
What were we talking about? I forget.
Oh,
What's on his bench?
The
His video
chair.
that's coming out. His
Oh, yeah,
building's
yeah.
coming out.
Chair.
that's for your wife, but what about for your daughter?
No, the chair's for my daughter.
Oh, for your daughter.
My wife has been asking for a king size bed for
It's the only way to live.
since I met her.
Ouch.
And I am delivering that.
Why am I picturing you like Michael Scott sleeping on like the foot rest thing at the end of the bed? Because the bed's not big enough to hold me both.
Oh god.
Please tell me you watch The Office
best-
and you get that reference.
Best episode of The Office. Hands
Dinner
down.
party.
Yes, dinner party is
Chef's
yes,
kiss.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna be doing that,
Sweet.
but that's more like that'll be done like middle of January.
Sweet. Awesome,
Cool.
man.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
Anything else
rip
going
that
on?
off.
Just in
I
time
gotta-
for Christmas.
I got a 12-foot long white oak slab
Oh.
from a local supplier that I work with, Vintage Reclaim Lumber.
You've worked with them a lot. I remember
Yeah,
as far
they-
back as you made that like farmhouse sort of the style of table where the legs come up through the tabletop. I can't remember the name of it. What is
It's
that?
called a Parsons table.
Parsons, yes. And you
Every
filled
build's
all
got
the
a word in it.
cracks. You filled all the cracks with like a teal blue. I really like that. I really like that project.
That build put me on the map. That build took me from like 7K to probably 70.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
I thought you were gonna say
Yeah,
7
yeah.
again.
7
Like
to
7K to like
7,200.
7.5K. To the high sevens.
yeah,
That's like when
No,
we have
that
a
was
video
a-
blow up.
That was a really great video. What I really liked about that video is you showed all the struggles you had with that because it was reclaimed wood and it was not square, it was not straight, and you had to struggle with it like a lot. I think,
yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, you even had to like start over somewhere. Yeah?
I didn't start over. I was always building 2 tables. That was always the plan.
Right. Okay, yes.
So the whole thing started because my friend and his wife that live in Colorado, in Denver, asked me to build them a Parsons table. I didn't even know what a Parsons table was.
I just
hit up
learned
VRL
myself.
and I was like, yeah. So I hit up VRL and I was kind of a friend with them, but we hadn't worked together. And I said, hey, let's work together and I'll build 2 of them, one for my friend and one for you. And so that's what I did. And the one that I built for VRL was a piece of garbage. And the one that I built for my friend was the one that I was like, oh, okay, I figured out all my mistakes. And yeah, it never sold. And I think eventually
The one you built,
they just threw it in the trash.
the one you built for VRL, you're still friends with them after that?
Oh, they're the ones that just gave me the white oak
That's
slab.
wild.
They're amazing. Seriously, like if you're in the Oklahoma, this is a total plug, but it's also legitimate. If you're in the Oklahoma City area,
Use
if you're looking
NordVPN.
for-
We get it.
yeah.
So no one knows you're there.
Find me if you're in the Oklahoma City area. Find me on Raid Shadow Legends. No.
Username at Daddy Builds. We can fight or whatever we do in that game.
2023
Yeah.
AWP Maker Meetup in Oklahoma at Jonny Builds.
Okay. I
No,
can make
but
that drive. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Plug them,
Oh,
Johnny.
yeah.
Seriously, plug them real quick. I cut you off like 4 times.
First of
Sorry.
all, why is there not a maker event in Oklahoma City? We're right in the heart of
Seriously.
the country.
Do it.
It's the heart of the country.
It's
part.
easy.
Mm.
Yeah, like
Make it
Is there a
happen.
major airport?
no, it's tiny. We'll figure it out. But
I can make that drive.
Vintage
Let's do
Reclaim
it.
Lumber, Oklahoma City. It's amazing. If you're in Oklahoma or anywhere close, like you tell them that Johnny sent you, and they'll give you a discount. And they have some
interesting.
beautiful
Add 13%.
material. They exactly. They have an eye dry, so they can dry your
Nice.
Your wood.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
You have a
I
maker
want those.
meetup Midwest. I will drive down and I will stop at Vintage Reclaim Lumber and I will get something and I will drop your name.
Midwest Maker Meetup just sounds like it should be a thing. It's a great name. You
Ooh.
guys need to make it happen. 2 of you need to get together.
One
Midwest
of
Maker
the
Meetup.
one of the
We did try to do it in Salt
OG
Lake.
That's
one
not
of the
Midwest, is it?
OG
That's
maker
mountain.
meetups. If you guys remember, about 4 or 5 years ago, like a bunch of makers, including Jimmy DeResta and ZH Fab, and
I don't remember
I
this.
can't even remember who else. But they came to Oklahoma to Skiatook, and it was like
Okay,
this
I actually do
weird,
remember
like-
this.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I wasn't
it
there,
was
but I
in
remember seeing
Oklahoma.
it and thinking,
Yeah.
oh, that looks like fun.
Yeah, this is pre-Workbench Con, pre-Maker Camp, pre-everything.
I think
and
Jay Bates was there even.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember all that.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember seeing it online
Yeah.
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. Dang, we should do that. Johnny, let's do something.
Make it happen.
Let's make a Maker Midwest
Johnny, if you
thing.
build it, we
They
will
will
come.
come. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, you heard it here. Dan and Johnny are not going to do that for sure.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you got going on your on your bench this week?
You guys, I am drowning in Etsy orders. I know I briefly went over this last week, very briefly. It's insane. I'm doing like 20 orders a day. It is crazy. I'm really struggling to keep up. And it's mind-boggling because like I did the Etsy sale, like the holiday sale that they were pimping. I did the 20% off or whatever. And then I turned it off early because it was doing way too well and I could not keep up. I turned it off early and it's still going. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I'm grateful. I'm super grateful for it, but I'm struggling to keep my head above water currently. And on top of that, in the commission world, we delivered the big, massive door jamb for the white oak door. Finally, it's actually installed as we speak. I got a text from my client. It's been installed and it looks freaking phenomenal. I'm currently working on the white oak door version 2, and I'm happy to say that it is flat. It's great. I'm not going to mess with it. We're just going to get all the hardware installed and deliver that sucker. And it's going to be a little lighter than it was before, because before, the one I made before was exactly 2 inches thick, and this one's like 1 3/4 inches thick. And that will shave off 50 to 75 pounds.
Wow.
I mean,
How heavy is that door?
The door is like 42 by 96. I mean,
80 pounds.
Yeah. Now it's only 5 pounds.
It started at 80, cut off 50 to 75. It's 5 pound door.
It's feathers veneered with white oak. It's great door.
It's a
Feather core.
16th inch of an inch.
Feather core.
Feather core.
Feather core.
So I'm hoping to have that delivered by Monday. The client's really like on my neck about getting it done by the 12th or the 13th, I think. And I think the 12th is Monday. My birthday may or may not be Sunday.
Sunday. Dan's turning, I won't say how old, but Dan is turning
28.
Wow.
28.
You don't look a
He looks
day
like
over
he's-
30.
He looks like he's
Yeah.
been using meth for 27 years. No. But seriously, go tell Dan happy birthday on Sunday.
No, please don't. Yes, do. My ego
Yeah, do
needs
that.
it.
Bring attention to his birthday.
As back to Etsy stuff, I got a couple orders of like bigger pieces of furniture as far as Etsy goes. So I had to make 3 of those sectional slide tables that I make, those just C tables, that are finger holes.
C tables.
Box joints?
Let's rework that name.
Box joints. They're C tables. It's a C.
Finger hole.
You know my viral video,
Look
the
at my
one that
C
put me
table.
on the map. I went from 7,000 to 7,500. So I had to make a couple of those. I also had to make one of my mid-century modern-esque like side tables. I put that on Etsy months and months ago, and nobody bought one. And then finally somebody bought one, and I was like, holy crap, I actually have to make one of these. I had to find the file. I couldn't find the file.
I don't know how to do this.
I had to remake the file entirely because it'd been so long. I was like, I couldn't find the file. Anyway. Oh, also, you know, Jonny Builds isn't the only YouTuber here.
Yeah,
I dropped another YouTube video. It was a Q&A style video. It was actually pretty fun to do. Had a lot of good feedback on the intro where I fell off the tailgate of my truck. So that's fun. Go give it a look. Go give it a watch, a thumbs up, and a subscribe and all that stuff, please. Thank you. I have children to feed. Pete,
Hello.
you want to talk about your week?
Yeah, Dan, I'm as someone that does the show notes, I often don't write as much for you. You had a busy week.
I've actually been very busy. I
Yeah,
just haven't.
you
I don't
had a
talk.
lot going on.
I don't talk much.
Proud of you, Boo. Also, that was very
Okay.
loud, that computer sound. So for me, I'm gonna play the role this week. The role of Dan's gonna be played by Pete. I had a lot of Etsy orders, not as many as Dan, but I still had a bunch of Etsy orders. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but I have a new printer, and it's a resin printer, so it prints with liquid. So the UV Cure
did
resin
mention
that
that.
some of us use. Oh, I did mention it, yeah. So I finally unboxed that, set that up. It is a lot
So
bigger than I thought it was going to be.
talk to me like I'm an idiot and I don't know what you're talking about, because I don't.
Okay.
A resin printer. Is that like printing with epoxy? And it
Yeah,
cures like while it's laying the stuff down?
It's literally that. Yes. So it's
Interesting.
like a UV cure resin. It doesn't just like cure on its own, really. It will if you leave it out over time for hours or days. It'll get harder. But the way this works is you pour the UV cure resin into a basin.
Can
and
you
that-
set that up in your yard and print in the sun?
Technically, so after you print something, you take it out and you put it into you wash it in a washing station. And then you put it into a curing station. It's just a UV light and it rotates on a little turntable. If you don't have that, you could literally put it outside. It's how to turntables. You could literally put it outside and it will cure with the sun.
Interesting.
Printing with the power of the sun. Look at that. Ain't that fancy? So I've been trying to catch up on some Etsy orders. Well, actually, I got caught up on Etsy orders because usually for me, Tuesday to Thursday is like the slower days. Yesterday I had not a single order come in. Today I got flooded, which is awesome because I'm still
That's awesome.
Aside from that, I have a vendor event a holiday vendor event this weekend, and it's the first time this local farm is doing it. But anytime this farm throws an event, they literally have to open up like a football field and a half of parking just to fit all the cars that go there to visit. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a big event, even though it's supposed to be cooler and whatnot. We're going to be inside the greenhouses and they're like pavilion covered up and stuff. So it's going to be 40 degrees out. So hopefully it'll still turn some people out. But
oh yeah, you should be fine. That's nice weather in Jersey in December, right?
Although,
40.
Well, Sunday it is going to snow. So we'll see. We'll see. But at least Saturday, I'm hoping to have a good event. And it's a local place to us. We've been trying to like work with them a little bit. They do some consignment stuff, I think, but this will be a nice with the community. We did pretty well in the local town day that they did a fair in the summer. That was pretty good, and I'm hoping that we sell a good amount. So I've been leaning very heavy into the laser. I made a boatload of cutting boards in September so that I wouldn't have to make any in November, December. That was a strategic plan because like I hate working all the way up till December or December 24th when I wanted to spend time with my family. So I made a bunch of cutting boards. Whatever I made. I didn't make any new ones. This week has just been small CNC projects, finishing up some charcuterie boards, and tons of laser projects. And I did something for the first time that I've never done, which is I bought a bunch of laser files. Usually I try to make my own, but I bought some really intricate stuff that you can,
What's it like being a hack?
It feels actually amazing. Honestly, I feel like $1 million. Yeah. Okay. And I'm better than everyone, which is awesome. So it's really nice. And all I do is press a button and it goes, and then I have my wife glue it up. So I do no work. It's amazing. So
you got it down.
Big fan. So I'm doing that, getting a lot of projects done, a lot of tchotchkes, knickknacks, and hootenannies for the thing, patty wags, all that stuff. Yep. And that's pretty much it. But I'm excited to announce that after this weekend, I have just one small little project that to frame something out for a kitchen island for a friend of mine, very small project. And I'm done for the rest of the year. Like I've been planning to be done for the rest of the year. Now I'll probably work on some projects here or there, obviously, but like I have nothing that has to get done. And
so whatever you work on is personal,
or I could just hang out in a house with family. I can play video games. I could just work on
hit me up in GTA.
Yeah, I will, dude. Oh yeah, totally. I got you.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do this for 5+ years. And every year I screw myself and I work all the way up till Christmas. And then after Christmas through New Year's for late orders and stuff. I don't have to do that for the first time ever. And it feels incredible. I actually get to enjoy the holidays. So I'm very excited. Thank you, Johnny. And that's it. That's my thing. Mike, let's hear about your week. You're busy as always. You had a busy week.
New employee started Monday. So that was nice. He's working out great. First week was good so far. He was going to be part-time, but actually he's going to be working 5 days a week now, it looks like.
So 3 full-timers.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, 3 full-timers. He's going to be here tomorrow now. It's just slammed right now. It's insane.
Is it someone we know? I know there was some potential talk of
they're in the community. They're in the community. He's a local guy. He's been a follower for a while, and he's doing great. He's working really hard.
Well, I'm glad you finally hired
this office
Giselle.
build out. Yeah. She would not like the commute. She would not like the commute. No, this guy's name's Justin. He's super nice guy. He's a good dude. So he's working hard. 4 days in, no issues yet. We'll see how it goes next week. We got this office build out. We're doing 4 huge tables and then a bar for them. We're actually have everything done tomorrow. We're probably going to deliver Monday. That's going into the Bay Area, so that's going to be quite the drive Sean and I have to do.
Ooh.
Paradise-opoly boxes are going to all be done next week. The second round of shelves for room and board is going to be sprayed by Saturday, and we'll be shipping those on Monday.
I saw you had a pile of those you posted on IG.
Yeah, we're doing
Pile of shelves.
200 this month.
Woo!
With them for the contract for this month. So we have 200 of those, and then we have 20 coffee tables for them this month too. So we're slapping those out. We'll have those will probably take us like 5 days.
Can we?
So we'll probably knock those out.
I'm sorry,
week.
I have to pause you. 20 tables, 20 coffee tables this month on top of everything else.
We'll get them done in a
build
week.
Yeah, most of us won't build 20 in our life. Wow.
Well, that's not
I know,
fun.
but like
No.
the reason I paused you is because like the numbers you're doing now are insane.
Pete and I are over here talking about Etsy and cutting boards.
And I mean this in like
doing
the most
20 coffee tables.
Dude, this is awesome and crazy. Like a couple years ago, you were in your shop building one project every couple months. Like you're building
I was selling meth.
20 coffee tables in a month on top of
didn't hear that,
everything
Johnny.
else. Yeah. Don't
Oh, he's retired. It's fine.
guys, don't tell him I said this, but I'm proud of him. He doesn't have to hear.
And then we got so thanks, Pete.
That's
Thanks, Pete.
bonkers. Dude.
And then we just finished up this 55 by 91 walnut island this week, and it's dope. Like it looks so good. The big tables we're doing for that office build out.
Was that the one you took a picture of yourself standing next to?
Yeah, that was
That looked really nice.
That's going to a winery probably the first week of January. It was initially a rush, and they had to pay for the expedite fee on the rush, but then the contractor screwed up and they're not going to be able to get it installed for like several weeks. So sucks for them. They
still
paid
rushed
for a
it.
rush, and then I got paid. I don't care. And then that's all the big stuff we're going on. Yeah, Etsy went weird. I've kind of like priced all my stuff is hot because I honestly just hate Etsy. Like I just really it happened again this week. Someone bought a digital file and they're like, I don't know how to open up a zip folder, so I'm gonna leave you a 1-star review because I'm a moron. God. It's like the lowest common denominator of customers.
Did I share my experience with a digital file purchaser? He may or may not have a name started with M, and he may have been from the Middle East. No,
M. Night Shyamalan bought from
M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, I had a guy buy a digital file for $3.99. It was an insert file, and he was expecting a physical product, and he kept sending me these nasty messages, and I'm like, dude, it's a digital file. There's no physical product, and he didn't know what I was talking about, and I had to get like super firm and not nice with him before he did.
I don't even care about bad reviews anymore over there. I just don't care. But we did I don't know what happened, but we did like $5,000 in Farkle trays in like 6 days over the last week. It was ridiculous. So it was like 35 of them sold or some crazy number like that.
It pushes one of your listings to everywhere for some reason.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's fine because those are like the only item over there that I actually am like, yeah, let's sell more of those because it's just literally the CNC does all of it and the big laser, like the CNC
nice
laser
to push buttons.
I don't even care. So, I mean, the file was written 4 years ago, so it is pretty nice, honestly. I just take a big chunk of wood and I throw it in the CNC and it cuts everything out. That's kind of it for right now. I'm just really busy right now. We're trying to hit some pretty harsh deadlines. We're trying to get to the end of the year. Oh, and the next CNC, it looks like we're shooting for like the first week of January for the Smart Shop 2 Pro is coming on first of the year. So I think we're gonna have my room and board customer. They're great. Like I really am fortunate to have that relationship. They just placed a half order for the shelves for next month. So we're actually gonna have like some downtime a little bit. So me and the guys, we're gonna spend a week building. The other thing I was gonna mention, we're gonna spend a week building fixtures and shop furniture and jigs and stuff like that we need in the shop. So, and then the other thing, Peter's coming on Sunday. That's my cinematographer.
I'll see you then.
we've got 4 video. Well, yeah, we've got 4 videos in the can now. He's coming on Sunday. I have 2 videos outlined for Sunday, so we're going to record 2 more videos on Sunday, and we should start seeing the new channel videos dropping like the week before Christmas is when we'll start the videos, and we'll have a 2 to 3 week cadence for all the videos. So we're just trying to build up a backlog, and Peter is wrapping up most of the color grading for
it should be done by
like
Sunday.
3 of them are done. Yeah, 3 of them are done, and then the other 2
that joke to the
we're going
NP.
to film.
Yeah, I color grade all the videos on YouTube for the pod.
So I'm really excited about that. I actually was going to share with you guys the this redwood cookie video. We're doing a video on that for the redwood cookies on how the production is done on that. So I want to share that with you guys in the Google Drive folder here. It looks incredible. Like I am so glad that Peter came into my life, because there would never be a chance that I would ever. Okay. Dan, are you able to mute him? Are you able to do no? There would never be a chance that I could ever make videos that look this good. Like, it's so amazing that to find someone who's a cinematographer for 20 years and a furniture maker. Like, he gets it all. It's perfect. Like, we jive so well. It's wild. So I'm so excited about YouTube, and it's something I've wanted to do. I kind of like went the opposite direction. Like, my plan was always to like build the furniture business up, get myself in a position where I can focus on YouTube. And now I'm finally getting, like, 2023. I'm super excited to just focus on YouTube. Finally, like I feel confident that Peter and I are going to be able to like really build something over there. So I'm very pumped about that. And that's kind of what's going on right now. So
not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. It's just crazy swamped right now. Like I'm getting like my eye twitch back from being stressed out. It's great.
I missed that. That's like episode 92. I haven't seen that in a while.
Like, it's been a minute. Like today was bonkers. Like, Thursdays are such a wash for me because of the podcast. Like, I'm just like, oh, I can't work till 10 o'clock at night. I have to go.
You're welcome.
Talk with people. Yeah, I know. It's good, for sure.
So bad. So terrible.
Hey, before we get into the questions, I did want to mention that you can get, if you wanted to go to Workbench Con, you can get $50 off. Not $50. You can get $50 off if you use code AWP. That actually also helps support the podcast. So you get we actually, just to be fully transparent, we get $50 as well. So if you're able to if you use the code AWP, you get $50 off. We get $50, and we're probably gonna buy it on Blow. So spend it on Blow.
We'll just buy drinks. We'll buy drinks at the bar.
We'll just buy drinks at the bar for sure.
Yeah,
so
if you use that code, we will let you buy us a drink at the event.
We'll let you buy us a drink.
And I'll be a cheap date. Because I'm not drinking. So.
I just drink Jack and Coke. We'll like a cheap.
We're actually gonna probably do like an episode kind of talking about Workbench Con pretty soon, and we're gonna really push that. We'll kind of talk about how that works and just like what you can expect when you see there. It's getting real close. Like,
it's crazy how fast it's coming up.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Like 3 months. Oh, I guess it is 4 months. You're right, Pete.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
It's the beginning of March.
Yeah, you know numbers.
Yeah. If you've been thinking about going, I mean, why not get $50 off? Do it up. And
right on.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Stop thinking about it. Just do it.
We'll have an AWP
no more shills.
or no, but we'll have a Workbench Con episode.
No more
we'll
shilling.
really talk about the good stuff.
This mention of Workbench Con is brought to you by NordVPN. Okay, so I'm gonna actually read this first question. I want to read this. I want to do this written in first, and this is to Jonny, of course. It says, Jonny, does your experience as a hostage negotiator help you with your customers and or brand interactions? If so, what tactics do you apply?
This is from Drew, right?
Yes, the negotiator.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Pete wasn't here for that, so that's the first time hearing it. It's General Grievous, yes.
All right. So
Star Wars.
4905.
I think it's actually legitimately a good question. I mean, it's got to help you with negotiate. I mean, you were a negotiator. It's got to help you with negotiations, right?
No.
Okay. The first question that is called in is
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This is 5 o'clock free crack giveaway.
Wrong button.
I'll tell you what. You know what? No, being a good negotiator is being a good listener. Like that is the vast majority. Exactly.
Well, what is being a good negotiator? I'm just joking. It's a listener joke.
Nice. You got me.
All right, that's pretty good. Come on, it was all right.
No, like the job itself taught me communication skills. The thing that side of it, like the listening skills and the ability to just sit back and not say anything and just hear the other person and comprehend what they're saying and develop an appropriate response. Like that's important. Like listening is a huge part of any sort of good conversation that you want to have. So yes, like short answer, it does help me in YouTube, and it's like sponsorship negotiations, because really, like when I'm talking to a new sponsor or like a new brand that I want to work with or something like that.
But you don't have
I'm really
actual like customers. You're not building stuff for clients, right?
Occasionally, I guess.
Yeah, like I just shipped out a table to California today. But that is not my business. Like my business
Right.
isn't like everything I make goes to a customer, but
Right.
it's a bonus.
But the brands are your customer, kind of. I mean, you
Right.
That's
Right,
a
right,
customer.
right.
I mean,
Yeah. So the brands are, that's the thing that pays the bills. I'm more of a content creator than
Right.
a woodworker.
fabricator. Right.
Yeah. And that's just kind of where my journey has led me. Not that there's anything wrong with either side of that. It's just the thing that has worked for me. I think a lot of manufacturers want to get into content creation, and a lot of content creators want to get into manufacturing. So there's a middle ground somewhere within all of that. And so short answer, like being a negotiator has helped mainly for the listening skills, as far as like when you're dealing with a customer or you're dealing with a brand or you're dealing with like a new company that you want to work with, hearing what they really want and what they need, and being able to deliver that is really important.
I want to expand on that a little bit. I think this is the first time that we have discussed you being a hostage negotiator. Yes? We didn't bring that up earlier, did we? No? Did we?
No.
I don't think we did. Anyway, I have questions. Is that cool?
You have
What?
Q's, I have A's.
Well, I got
You got
Q's.
some
I got
nice
Q's.
A's from this angle.
So in that realm, like, what was the most interesting, crazy, whatever word you want to use here, situation you were in? Is that something you can share with us?
I think at this point, now that I'm retired, I think I can. Before, I've never told this story in a public forum. I've only told it like one-on-one. But
Well, so this isn't really public.
Timestamp.
We got like 12 listeners.
Well, yeah. So yeah, this is easy. This is like talking to the
This is
people
like talking-
down at the bar.
Yeah, this
Right.
is like bar
Yeah.
talk.
There's probably more people in
Okay.
the bar than we have downloads, so you're fine.
So this is probably 2015, give or take. I don't know. I'm a negotiator. There's multiple roles that you play as a negotiator. When you get a call out, you show up, and being a negotiator isn't your primary job, by the way. Like all the negotiators have different day jobs, if you will, within the police department. Like some are working in patrol. I was a detective. Others are supervisors. Like it just depends on kind of where you're at. So anyways, we get this call out, and I show up, and there's like 12 of us. And so they assign different roles, and you may be the primary negotiator. You may be the secondary. You may be the person that's kind of like collecting all the information. You may be someone that's like tasked with collecting intel. And then you may be the negotiator that's assigned to the armored vehicle that the SWAT team is in. And on this particular call out, that's what I was assigned to, is the armored vehicle. The Bearcat is what they call it. And
That's Dan's nickname. Go ahead.
It's from high school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see that
So as the negotiator in the Bearcat, you sit in the front passenger seat, and you have an intercom where you can communicate through that armored vehicle, and then you have a listening button where you can monitor communications that are being said back to you. So on this particular call out, it was a high risk warrant where this family hadn't heard from their mother/grandmother for 3 days, and officers had been called out, and the son, the 50-something-year-old son that lived with mom, wouldn't let officers in the house. They didn't have probable cause just to go in there. And it became, after several days, it became very suspicious, and eventually probable cause was obtained to get a search warrant to go inside that house and make sure that she was okay. So that's, they kind of knew, based on the intel they had gathered from the officers that had been out there before, that this
Something's not right.
Yep.
Yeah, he had severe mental health issues, and there was thoughts that he was out there like making bombs, because he was like wiring stuff up, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. So anyways, we roll on this at like 8-9 o'clock at night, and we get there. I'm in the front seat of this armored vehicle, and he won't answer the phone. They're trying to call into the house. He won't answer. So eventually the decision is made to put what's called the ram. It's like a long like pole with a big steel plate on the end of it.
Can relate.
Onto the front of the Bearcat. And they decide they're gonna
Can relate.
Yeah.
The ram on the front
decide,
of the Bearcat. Good God.
Yeah. There's next year's Halloween costume, right?
Or everyday cosplay. Go on.
There you go. And if you're a furry, it works too, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, they decide they're going to open up a hole into this house to the front door with the ram. So they do that.
Mm-hmm.
And they see this gentleman walking around, and he's got multiple firearms in his hands, and he's speaking gibberish. Like he's just like,
I couldn't be fluent in high school.
Yeah. And again, he's like 50 something, closing in on his 60s, living with his mom. And he's walking back and forth. Like eventually they ended up making 3 big holes into this house, so we could kind of like see inside. Yeah, they pretty much destroyed the house. And he keeps walking around with guns, and he's holding them weird. Like he's holding a gun, but instead of like holding a gun like you think,
right,
he's kind of like,
it's like
holding
sideways.
it like this.
It's like
Yeah.
resting.
Yeah. But you're like, what is he doing?
It's facing him.
It was just weird. Like the whole interaction, like he was clearly like
very unstable,
mentally ill. Like
honestly,
the
so
most mentally incapacitated person I've ever seen in my life.
Have you ever been to the Total Boat booth at Workbench Con at 3 a.m?
He has. I can confirm.
Matter of fact,
I know he has.
We locked him down.
I'm who you're talking about.
Right. That was you.
So, yeah.
You were the guy holding the epoxy can. No,
It's like
sorry.
epoxy to my hands. No,
Yeah, how did this happen?
Quick set.
Yeah.
So much epoxy.
Yeah. So long story short, we were out there for, I believe, 16 hours.
Oh,
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Which is a little shorter,
less
or a
than
little
this,
longer
more
than
than
our
this podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, dang it, Pete.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah.
So the SWAT team ended up infiltrating the house and taking him down. He had a gun in his hand. They went in there with a ballistic shield, knocked him to the ground, wrestled the gun out of his hand, arrested him, brought him out of the house, searched the rest of the house. They find mom. She is deceased. She's been
I was really hoping mom was okay.
No, she's not.
By the way, this podcast is PG-13, but go on.
Neither is the cat. So mom's dead. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. So if you want me to stop, I'll stop.
No, continue, please.
Well,
I'm invested.
Dan can edit.
I'm invested.
Dan can edit.
Okay.
I'm invested.
I
Continue.
want to hear it, but
Dan can edit.
So mom's in her 80s. She's really old. She's super dead at this point.
Super dead. Oh my God.
She is on cinder blocks like a freaking stolen vehicle.
Like an old Honda Civic.
He has cut multiple pieces of her body off. And that's the things that we saw him walking around with that we couldn't identify.
You thought they were guns?
No, we knew they were guns, but like at other times we're like, what is that? And it was like her
God,
wrapped in plastic.
All right.
He scooped one of her
Dan just kept asking for more.
And you guys didn't like my butter knife story.
Yeah.
Continue.
I think he tops it.
He removed one of her eyes and had it
in
a glass of water next to the bed. Like he had her on cinder blocks. Like it was crazy. He was like dismembering her. He was when he was talking to the negotiators that were in our truck that were actually on the phone with him. He was like, just come in here and get her. But I haven't even told you the best part.
Oh, really?
So
okay. Here we go. Just everybody buckle up.
No, it's funny.
Oh,
there's a funny.
It gets better.
I'm in this for the jokes. Go on.
And then he looks everyone dead in the eyes and goes, 60% of the time it works every time.
Exactly. So at the time we had our negotiator city issued cell phones were these like antiquated flip phones, but we didn't care because we were like, okay, these are like phones that we can introduce into a situation where there isn't a phone and we can make contact. So we would call them the throw phone. So
you give those to the perpetrator or the, what do you call them? The person in that you're negotiating
suspect.
with? Suspect. Okay.
Yeah. So the perp, never ever use that term in my
I watch a lot of Law and Order, so
yeah,
I know the lingo.
So exactly. So at one point it was determined that I was going to introduce my cell phone as the throw phone. So I handed it to one of the SWAT team guys. They threw it into the house through one of these giant holes they had made with the Bearcat.
That the Bearcat ram made.
Correct. The suspect picked up the phone, and I get really excited. I'm like, heck yeah! Like I'm calling my guys, and I'm like, okay, he's getting the phone. Everything is great. We're gonna be able to talk to this guy. Like, we're gonna resolve this. And he picks up the phone. He looks at it. He opens it. He breaks it in half, and then throws it back at me. So, yeah, it was a little disheartening, and
he didn't want to talk to you.
Quite fun. He did.
And you needed a new phone.
This story brought to you by Established Titles.
Oh Lord Daddy.
Oh man.
Lord Daddy Builds.
Can I ask you, have you ever asked a question that you regret asking? Have you guys ever did that?
As a negotiator?
I know you guys did because you got me on a podcast.
Johnny, serious question. Like you were saying, one of the important things you learned about being a negotiator was to listen. I mean, obviously not all, we all as someone who's never been in law enforcement, we think of negotiator as someone dealing with hostage situations all the time. But obviously you're dealing with a lot of different situations. What
Yeah.
is it you're listening for?
To what that person is actually going through, like the things
What
that
they're
they're
trying-
saying.
yeah.
Yeah, because everybody has a story.
You're trying
Right.
to read between the
Oftentimes-
lines.
Like
You're
Type of
making them feel
hostage ne-
seen, right?
Yeah. Hostage negotiator is actually not the term. Crisis negotiator is what
Right.
they're
That makes
often
sense.
referred to, because
Right.
oftentimes, very, very rarely is there a hostage involved. That's
Right.
stuff for the movie.
That's a movie thing,
right?
Right. Yeah.
Correct. Often it's someone in crisis, like
Right.
oftentimes a mental health
Holding
crisis.
a gun at a 33-degree angle with their mom's lower calf in a bag.
or they're the ones they're holding a gun to.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like they're suicidal, and you're just trying to keep them from hurting themselves. You know,
Right,
like
right,
they're not
yeah.
a threat
Wild.
to anyone else. And
Such a high pressure
the way-
situation, man. That's wild. That's wild.
the way you resolve that is by listening, actually
Mhm.
listening to what they're going through and being empathetic. And it's that police mentality where you would like want to win the day, but not through force. You want to win it through conversation. And so that's what we were. We were just people that listened and talked to folks that were having the worst day of their lives, and we just tried to empathize with them and just tried to like relate what they were going through with our own personal experiences, and be a human being and share that with these other human beings that were going through something. And like you got to where you like cared about these folks and you cared about their survival,
And their struggles.
So when things went bad, like it affected you. Thankfully, I was never on the phone with anybody that like ended their own life, but other negotiators
Yeah.
that I worked with were. And
Call me
it's
crazy,
just a
but that
tough-
sounds very stressful.
Yeah.
I can understand why you wanted to, switch paths a little bit, little less stress.
Honestly, it was the best part of my career, and my business is the thing that took that away from me. I
Interesting.
was so serious. I was so serious about being a negotiator that I didn't like other negotiators that didn't show up on call outs. So the minute that Jonny Builds started taking over my life and making it to where I couldn't respond to call outs, I said, hey, I can't do this anymore. And I stepped away from the team. And I didn't want to. I did it because I knew that I couldn't be 100%.
Yeah. You couldn't fulfill the obligation.
Yeah. And I wanted someone else that could to take my place.
Interesting.
Wild.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's
Great answers. Thanks, dude. That's really wild.
bonkers.
The next question is from Daniel Taylor. It is this one right here.
What is up, everybody? It's Daniel with Taylor Custom Crafted. Once again, I almost forgot. I don't know how you guys manage some of your weeks, but mine are a little crazy right now. Anyways, hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody had fun on last week's question. Try to bring a little bit of humor to things. Sometimes that just makes the day go by a whole lot easier. Anyways, I'm going to quit hemming and hawing around and get straight to the point. So I've started making a lot of valet trays, little trinket dishes, jewelry dishes, whatever you want to call them. But I'm finding that when I try and sand, I don't have the correct tool or a good tool to use when I'm sanding inside the tray. I try and do it by hand a little bit, and of course that sucks. The worst sanding of all is to hand sand something. But anyways, what tool would you recommend to use for sanding small trays that maybe are 4-5 inches inside area? What would you recommend? I know I asked Mike before, but I want to see what everybody else thinks as well. I appreciate you guys taking the time, and hopefully I don't forget to call in next week. See you guys.
Dan.
I actually just bought the Raycon little 2-inch sander from
From Raycon?
Rock.
The internet?
No. Tools Today. Yes,
Okay.
Tools Today. Man, my
they've been
mind just
pushing it
like
hard lately.
Yeah, they were pushing it, and you know what? They sold me on it. I've been doing some trays lately, and that thing looks fantastic. So I pulled the trigger. It was only like $70. I know it's discounted pretty heavily right now. I think it's like $50 off. But I would hit them up. Look at that. I think it's a 2-inch sander, 2-inch sanding pad.
It is a 2-inch pad. Yep.
Yeah. So
rechargeable battery, so it's wireless.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I bought that. I also bought a 3-inch sanding pad for my drill off Amazon. It's okay, but I'm really hoping that that Raycon sander is going to be, the answer to my prayers. I don't think it arrives for another couple days as of the recording of this podcast. So that's what I'm doing. I have looked into the little Mirka sander. I think Mike has that. Do you have that little Mirka? What is that? A 3-inch?
Aeros. Oh,
Aeros.
I have a 3-inch. Well, no, there's a 3-inch, which is the Daros, but it's a 3-inch Daros. I have that. And then I have I have all their sanders, but I have the 4x5 square sander.
Oh, but what's
That's
the
what I
small
was
one?
gonna say would use. Aeros. It's
Aeros,
a one.
yeah.
It's a
they were really
it's a 1-inch sander.
One
It's a
inch?
1-inch.
Whoa.
It's like a
it's like a really
$700 sander, right?
Yeah,
it's crazy
really
expensive. Like I don't recommend
Like the
anyone
one time
like
in your
buy
life
it.
you want to be really
like,
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like unless you're like, we just use it for like detail, like inside of stuff. Like it's if you're like a weekend warrior, like don't buy that sander. I cannot recommend that to anyone. It is very expensive. We use it for very specific stuff on very expensive pieces of furniture. It's not for trays that you're selling for $30. It's just not for that.
Unless you're doing like 100 trays a month.
Yeah.
You guys
Even then,
see
I don't
that,
know. That's $300.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing trays on volume, maybe.
I don't know. It's not like, I don't know. But like the 4x5 Dios sander is one I would recommend for that. That's a good sander for that.
Yeah.
Like it is really a great sander. That Dios sander is slick. It's slick. And I also just got the Rotex 90. We just picked that up for cleaning up all these coffee tables, the edges. It's a 3.5-inch disc, but it's a Rotex. It has Rotex mode.
Ooh.
But what's cool is it pops off and it has a Delta. It's got a triangle attachment to it. So you can put it to Delta mode. And that is actually a pretty small Delta sander. And we've been using that. Well,
That's
not
cool.
that I'm doing 2 trays right now as a personal like thing. It's not like a business thing. That sander is actually, it's legit. I mean, I really like it.
Everyone hit up
vouch
Mike for your
that.
trade needs.
I just got it. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
You got the 90?
Amazing.
I saw
Yeah.
Sedge
It's
doing
amazing.
the head swap on it. I'm like, that's actually really cool.
It's so
Yeah.
easy. Like
I will say one other thing. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee M12, and they
Right.
just came out with a
Talk dirty to
detail
me.
sander.
Okay.
Oh, they came out with a small sander?
Mhm.
Oh.
Is it
Now,
this triangle one, Johnny?
I think so.
Ooh.
I'm looking at it
okay.
right now. Actually, just came
I
up
didn't
on the
know about
feed.
that. I have all the
But
Milwaukee
it's
things.
It's brand new. Now, I will say the Raycon really intrigues me because of the price point is.
Yeah, I already
so
bought
crazy.
it. It's on its way.
Dan,
Yeah,
is that a 5 mil
$70
stroke?
bucks.
I thought it was a 3 mil stroke. I thought
It's
it
a
was
3 mil
pretty
stroke?
smaller. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
It's
You-
70 bucks. That is cheap. I might just.
It's
grab
like
that.
$50 off right now too. So that's
Yeah,
that
it's
price isn't
crazy.
going to last
Milwaukee
long.
sander is nice. It's a little pricier, but
My thing is like I don't have any other Raycon tools, and I'm like I don't want to
Right.
invest in a Raycon.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was kind of like my holdup
Yeah.
at first, but I was like, the price, it's fine. I can deal with it.
But that's for the sander, a battery, and a charger all in
Yeah.
one.
yeah.
That's a killer deal.
That's not too bad.
It's a great deal.
I said, I saw the same thing you did. Like Tools Today, like it's whatever
For
on
$70
sale,
bucks,
$69.99
For that one, even
Yeah,
for once in a
that's-
while when you need it.
Yeah, I
That
pulled the
sounds too
trigger
bad.
like that. Like I didn't even stop.
I'll tell you what,
Right.
like detail sanding and small sanding is some of the most frustrating part of finishing a piece.
Yes.
And like a lot of big sanders that are not the nicest sanders on the market can get the job done.
Mhm.
but when it comes to detail sanding, like that's why I got that Rotex 90. I'm like, I need something that is just dedicated to these small, intricate kind of areas that I need to get to, because that's the most frustrating.
Yeah, that's where you're going to spend your time. That's where
Exactly.
you need to be efficient.
Yeah.
Man, I've never seen this Rikon before. I'm looking at it now, and I would say
Honestly,
the
for $70,
best answer for this question is I think that Rikon sander for trays. Like
Yeah.
that looks like a really great option. Just looking at this, I may just
I
grab
bet
one.
all four
Yeah,
of
I
us
can't wait
will
to get
own
it.
Yeah,
I'm
wait
not
to get
gonna
it.
lie, it's in my cart already. I'm thinking about it.
I pulled the
I'm
trigger
buying
on
it
that
right
sucker
now.
as soon
Because
as I
it's
saw it.
everything for like I hate going into a new tool battery world,
Mhm.
but for that cost, I can for the one-off uses, I can pull it
It's
off.
so cheap.
All right,
It's
so
cheap.
I agree
That
with
is
everyone.
so cheap.
With everyone, especially that Rikon. Honestly, you know what? I'll drop a link in it.
I wish we had an affiliate link, but we don't.
Yeah.
So this
Well,
is
I
just
do, so that's
this
fine.
is
I'll
just
put it
a
in.
friendly link.
Yeah,
But
it's,
so
it's
I
not
will
on
go-
Amazon.
So I will give the cheapest
Right.
answer,
It's not
even cheaper than that, which is
Harbor Freight.
So Harbor Freight for one thing. So Harbor Freight has a cheap like $7 whatever $5
No, I'm just
attachment
kidding.
for your what's the multi-tool for the multi-tool where you can put
Oh,
a
man.
Delta sanding pad on it.
Dude, those are absolutely
hang on,
garbage, Pete.
hang
They're
on,
so
I know,
bad.
but I'm going from you guys went for like the best options. I'm gonna give people the cheap option. So the Delta, I use it. I don't hate it. It's not the best thing out there, and then sometimes I still have to clean up
But
by
it's
hand.
a thing.
But it's a thing, and it's a
can
good
I-
option. And the Delta pads.
Can I throw in a hot take on this?
Yeah, go for it.
Please do.
Okay. Buying cheap tools ends up being more expensive.
This is
than
not
buying...
a hot take. This is my whole
This is
mantra.
lukewarm at best.
Thank you. Like
You can use it with a good tool.
I'm sorry, like,
but it's
all
just
you're doing
that
if you're buying Harbor Freight tools,
It's labor. You're
But
losing
hang on,
labor.
hang on. You're just buying the head though for a good multi-tool. Like I use it with my DeWalt. That's one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's one option. I'm just giving everyone the option.
You're not buying the whole tool. You're just buying the accessory.
Just the head, yeah.
I'm
And then
not
you can get
saying that-
sandpaper from
Just the tip.
whatever brand. But the other one is if you go on Amazon, just search 2-inch sanding discs. You can get like I think Mike, you bought these in the past because I bought with your affiliate link. They're just small pads. They come with like it's a 300 pack of all the different grits, and they come with different sponge pads. You throw it in your drill press or in a drill, and you
That's
clean
what
it
I
up.
got.
They're honestly it's $17 for 300 pieces of. It's anywhere from
That's
60
not bad.
to 3,000 grit. It's not the best thing. You can't get into all the nooks and crannies. It's something you have to put in a chuck of a drill. So take that with a grain of salt. But for $17, all these different small pads, I will recommend this.
Sandpaper is so expensive. It's unreal how expensive sandpaper is and abrasives are. I just spent an ungodly amount of money at Klingsport this week. Like I was like, oh, it hurt real bad. I don't know why I just wanted to share that, but sandpaper is so pricey. It is unreal.
It's
Good.
Yeah,
sandpaper.
well, when
you do
you're
it on
buying
every
it in the
project.
volume that Mike is, yeah.
Oh, and one other thing I will say is I think Bao Loy recently just did a video on getting the cleanest finish of your trays. So most of he does a lot of catch-all trays and valet trays, and he sands very little afterwards. Look at the tramming on your CNC. Tramming meaning if your bit is a perfect 90 degrees to the bed. Mine, I can tell you 100% left to right, perfect. Front to back, a hair off. I just leveled my bed, and I have like a very tiny step. Like I can feel it, but it doesn't affect my carving. So if you get it dead nuts flat, as we say, you will get a lot better results. So you can actually clean up with your bit more of it, so you don't have those like crazy lines in there that you have to then sand out. So that's something to consider as well. I had good answers here.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good questions. All right, let's jump into this one from Toma. He is very hard to understand.
It's me. Hi, I'm the
French.
It's me.
Hey guys, I'm Johnny. How are you all doing? I've got a question for Johnny. I saw that you used to be a cop, and I wonder what is the biggest difference between being a woodworker and a cop. No, bad Thomas, stop it! Remember, we said no more questions like that. But it's a good... That's it. What? What are you doing? Wait.
Man, the acting is through the roof.
Sorry guys, I had to cut this question out of the voicemail. Alright, so I did my first Christmas fair last week and it was super fun. I also made enough that I already ordered myself a planer and I still have a little left to invest. I don't know if I should get a HEPA canister filter for my dust collection and a air scrubber thingy, or a small laser to learn how to use it and have fun with. One part of me really thinks that I should get the healthy package, but lasers sounds fun and will help me develop my business. On the other side, living longer sounds nice, but come on, laser. Pew pew! Are the new 10 or 20 watt desktop laser really useful, or should I wait and get a real CO2 laser? Thanks! Really? You had to cut me out? I was going to ask if Jonny reloads his nails gun like a real gun.
Thomas, listen, I love you. It's too many bits. You can't have bitception in your call.
Bitception.
No, thanks for the call, buddy.
I
he's
did like the New Jersey mob boss getting taken out in the beginning.
In the
So
wood
wait,
yeah, that
it's
was great.
a planer versus a laser?
He bought a planer already. He wants to know
Oh.
if he should get a HEPA canister on his dust collection.
Oh, that's right.
And then he's asking if he should get a laser, if he should get one of the diode lasers or save up money and get a CO2 laser.
I want to hear what Johnny has to say first.
I do too.
Yeah, definitely. He's a big HEPA guy. I know that.
Yeah.
Johnny Hepa, that's what people call him.
John. Lord HEPA.
HEPA Builds. That was his old account name.
Protect your lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're all
Cool.
going to say that.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
protect
we're
your
gonna go
lungs
around
first
the
and foremost.
round robin real quick. No reason to die of dust poisoning, which is just lung cancer. So just get your HEPA, dude. Get it.
Yes, 100%.
I'm gonna say diode laser.
Okay.
Don't- before you kill me, hang on.
Okay.
So he actually has some dust collection already in a shop, which is, there's a lot of people that just don't have dust collection, and that's the first big problem.
Yeah,
So,
people who
like,
don't do
getting
woodworking,
dust-
sure. They don't have
No,
dust
no,
collection.
people that do and then don't even because like it's too much.
It's
listen,
only a
we've all
matter
done
of
it.
time
We've
before
all
he
done it
brings
when
up
we
my old situation.
Ran
Here
a
we go.
sander or your table saw, whatever, without a dust collector. Dan, I wasn't actually going to call you out, but no, there's plenty of us. We've done it where we've run tools because it was too inconvenient to run some kind of dust collection with it. So he already has a dust collector. I think he has an Oneida system. So he's got something which collects a lot of the dust. And granted, it might not be HEPA. It's something. I think for what he's trying to do, he's trying to make smaller items, and a lot of them maybe personalize them. And it seems like he caught the bug for the craft fair. I would say a diode laser would be a good investment because I think that thing would pay for your HEPA filter pretty dang quick. Whereas if you get a vacuum and a HEPA filter, that's not something that like makes you money. People always say like, well, how fast are you going to pay off that tool? A vacuum or HEPA filter is not a thing. A laser can actually pay for the next tool.
Can I add something?
Yeah, please.
Thomas, we love you. We want you to keep calling in. At least, I don't know if you can get this in France, but at least get the Win air scrubber. So you can filter out some of that lower
They for sure have air
micron.
scrubbers in Europe. You don't need a Win. Just
How do you
get a
scrub
good
in
one.
French?
But it's like, what is that Win air scrubber? It's like $150.
Yeah.
You can get that and a laser. Yeah?
Sure.
It's like 3,000
I don't know what his
francs
budget is.
or whatever.
I don't know what francs
whatever
are.
it is.
Franks.
Isn't that a
Deutschmarks.
German like hot dog?
Yeah, I think so. The French
Anyway.
gave us the Statue of Liberty. It's my only fact I know about them.
Yeah, like a diode laser. If you're making like cutting boards, you just need to engrave people's stuff. You don't need to cut stuff out. So just get a diode laser. Make some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of that. That's actually the end of questions.
Whoa.
Oh, is that it?
I have a couple for Johnny
This
that
is
I just want to
way
quick round
faster
robin.
than 14
ask him.
hours. Oh, okay.
This is like We're an hour and 30 minutes in, dude.
I know, but we didn't ask him the really good
questions in
question.
for Johnny. What?
We didn't get to interview him as much as I'd like, and I just want to ask him some quick ones.
Let's do it.
And so, first things first, you show off a lot of, and let's keep the answers quick too, although I want to hear more of it after we finish. You show off a lot of mistakes. Dan actually touched up on this earlier. Was that a conscious choice since the beginning? Like, you show when you mess stuff up. Like when you were doing that, like a big tray or cutting board for a serving tray for your wife. Like the handles were a little off, I think, if I remember right. And like, you were just like, yeah, I messed that up. So I did this to fix it. Like, you just blatantly show the mistakes. Yeah. What was the whole thought behind that?
Well, there isn't much thought behind it. I just think that's the thing to do. But when you kind of break it down, when you're woodworking, like, you know how to push something through your table saw, right? You know how to cut something on your chop saw. You know how to sand something, right? That's all very simple processes. So where does the actual woodworking kind of play into it? And it's oftentimes the problem solving that comes with having to figure out how to fix your mistakes. So that's like, I feel like that's where the magic is like, you know, figuring out how to, am I allowed to cuss?
Sure. It's already E-rated or
okay,
bad rated.
Figuring out how to unfuck something that you fucked up, essentially. And I feel like that's where the magic is
absolutely
that's where you grow. That's where you grow as a maker, right? Yeah. Like when you learn from your mistakes. So at no point should you be shy about your mistakes, or as what we talked about earlier, like failure. Like, fail, do it often, fail, learn from it, get better. Like, that's the magic right there. Like, so showing my mistakes, like, there's no ego involved. Like, I mess up just like every other human on the planet. Like,
I have never once made a mistake.
No, he has.
I believe it.
That's the reason I follow him.
Yeah, I believe it. No, you're a perfect specimen of
without flaw.
Yeah. Look at this guy. Like, his
flawless,
unblurred,
one would say,
background, his yellow flannel, like his kitty cat. Like, I love it. I think that's the thing that can. It's an easy thing that makes you relatable, and you don't even have to try to be like. You don't have to try that hard to be someone that's authentic when you're showing your mistakes, right?
You just want to lay it all out there. You want to like show every part of it. Good or bad.
Authenticity is the thing that like sells and is relatable. You know,
absolutely.
Because we all started not knowing what the hell we were doing. Whatever journey we had, we figured it out, and none of us did it without making mistakes. So who cares if you make a mistake? Like, make them, like, be proud of them, show them, you know, learn from them, or make a mistake and don't learn from it. Be proud of your mistake. Like, whatever your journey is, like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like, just keep growing and learning and experimenting. Like, often when you experiment with things, like, you're not going to come up with something that's perfect. You're going to come up with something that's imperfect, and what you take away from that and what you iterate in the next version, or what you learn through different processes, like, helps you grow. And that's what's important.
Nice.
Indeed.
Good.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to the question of, like, you know, you're talking about like being intentional with that, but like, and this is going to be a kind of a left field question, but do you consider yourself be a creative person? Because like, for me, I think in angles and right angles and numbers, every one of your projects seems to be a regular project with one thing really different, weird, outside the box. Is that driven by customers or requests from your wife or whoever? Is that something that you find yourself to be a creative person, or you find a design, you want to go with it, and then build a project around it? Like, what's your creative process? Because you're pretty out there with some of your designs.
First of all, I appreciate that analysis because you're 1,000% spot on with kind of my process.
Let's not grow his ego anymore.
I'm a
Dennis.
medium-sized fan at best.
Yeah.
No,
Listen, you have the second best beard in this group. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I know I take fourth place when I'm here amongst you. It's fine.
You might have a close third.
So
You want me to get closer?
There
Yeah.
it is.
mine doesn't like connect.
Mine don't either.
Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit, but
Your creative process, like, are you creative on purpose? Are you actually creative at heart, or is this something that you just get inspired by something? And
I think out in the world there are artists, and for them they have these innate abilities to create things out of nothing.
Mhm.
I think for the vast majority of us, like, creativity is a muscle, and you exercise it, and you do that by looking at what other people are doing, looking at Pinterest is a great example, looking at that Home Depot and West Elm and like all these things, and gathering information from all these different resources on texture and material and process. And through that, the more you expose yourself to that, the better you get at being creative. It's a muscle. Like, I'm not an artist, 1,000%. I'm not an artist, and I will never claim to be one. And every good design I've ever had comes with multiple bad designs that I hate with a passion. And because I hate it, I keep iterating until I come up with something that I love. And then when I start building it, I realize all the things that I didn't think about when I was designing it. And then it kind of punches me in the mouth, and I have to like iterate on the fly, and I make mistakes. And eventually you end up with something that is you're really proud of, or you're just like proud of because you made it through all the steps that came before it, even though it's like, oh, I could do better next time. Like, that's a normal process, and it's okay to feel that way. I just think that you've got to give yourself the credit for failing and not being satisfied with the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 designs that you come up with. Like, that's just part of the process. You should enjoy that when you design something, or you have an idea or whatever, however your process is. If you hate it the first time, hell yeah, that's a good thing. Like, be okay with hating it, because that just means when you hate it that you're gonna take whatever you like out of it and whatever is wrong with it and continue to iterate. And that's where you start to get good at design. And like I said, for most of us, we're not artists, we're creators or makers or whatever you want to call us. And so it's a muscle, and you just have to continue to exercise that muscle. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it.
Great.
Nice.
Awesome.
Perfect.
I love that. And I have and we're kind of running out of time, but I'd love a quick answer on this. Like, you went full time, you did it, you live in a dream, and I'd love for you to kind of talk about, like, what are your revenue streams? Obviously, we all know about YouTube and sponsorships, but are you leaning into some products or plan sales or anything else? Just curious, because our patrons or our listeners are always asking about that.
Do you
stuff.
pay Jeff in Bud Lights and Butterfingers?
Yeah, because it works for Dan.
Yeah.
I do everything I can to pay Jeff a living wage. Jeff is awesome.
You don't pay him enough to buy an iPhone.
Well, that is true. That is true. That is true.
Ouch.
Once he gets better at editing, like, maybe he can afford
Maybe we'll
an
talk about a
iPhone.
raise.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jeff, I if you're listening, I 100% meant that. No, like the vast majority of my revenue streams are ad revenue and sponsorships at this
Okay.
point. Sponsorships in like the ad read type sponsorships, where in the middle of your video you're talking about Audible, Squarespace, what have you,
NordVPN.
NordVPN, established titles if you've never heard of them, Husk knives, another great product. Yeah. So yeah, that is the vast majority of my revenue at this point, but it always feels, oh, what's the right word? How do I say this in the proper way without saying it feels dirty? It always feels a little bit dirty, because oftentimes you find yourself promoting things that you're like, yeah, this is a good product, I dig this, but it's not perfectly adjacent
on brand.
Yeah.
It's not perfectly adjacent to what's going on in that video. And that's what really sucks. I'm going to take a hard left turn to tell you about this. Should I say this because I'm releasing the video on Sunday?
No, we know what you're talking about. The brands that it almost doesn't make sense in the middle of the video.
So with that in mind, there are revenue streams out there that are, how do I say this, that can be very valuable, that involve leaning into the loyal audience that you build. So I think that's the most important thing, is being authentic, showing your mistakes, building a loyal audience, and building an audience that trusts you, and then providing that audience value, like whatever that is for you, whether it's entertainment, whether it's education, whether it's a mix of the two, whether it's like, hey, I'm going to show you how to build this project, I'm going to show you how to design this project, I'm going to show you how I work with epoxy, what have you. Like, once you start drilling down into minutia and you have an audience that is willing to subscribe and pay for exclusive content based around that, that is when I think you're at your most valuable. And that is my biggest goal at this point, like creating content specifically for what the core of my audience wants to see in a way that I can't do on YouTube, because YouTube is kind of quick hitting, a lot of personality. The things that work on YouTube today aren't the things that worked 5 years ago. 5 years ago, YouTube wasn't the entertainment platform that it is today. It was more of an education platform. It was where you went if you wanted to learn how to fix your dryer whose heating element had broken, right? Now it's an entertainment platform where you go to be entertained and watch essentially television shows. So with that paradigm shift, to bring that word back into it.
Oh God.
A lot of the way that a lot of us creators do YouTube has shifted as well. You may notice that it's a lot more personality driven. Titles are a lot more vague and clickbaity. Thumbnails are a lot more vague and clickbaity. There's very rarely a finished shot of a project. Often it's a process shot of the very beginning of a project or something like that. And a lot of that has to do with the audience that exists today. But the other side of that is, to get back to the original point, is you want to be able to do that, and you want to be able to curate that loyal audience that's there to show up on day one of a video drop and watch no matter what you do. Yeah. No matter what you do, like, let's say it's 30,000 or 50,000 or 100,000, or if you're really lucky, like 200,000 people, like every time you drop a video, in that first 24 hours, they're watching.
They're there for it.
Correct. So that's massively valuable when it comes to like ad revenue and when it comes to sponsorship dollars. But beyond that, if you create, like, let's say you're creating like courses and you know, like in-depth courses that go way beyond what you're doing on YouTube, like that is where the real value is. Like,
Right on.
yeah,
That's good, man. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Awesome.
sharing that. All right, I think
Cool.
that's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Let me quickly mention our top tier sponsor or patrons, excuse me. Justin.
Well, they are
Addy,
kind of
Christian-
sponsors.
Yeah. Christian Chung, Square Splinter, Andrew Vahey, Tim from Lock City Woodworks, Michael Flickinger, Alex Ander Kopejans, and Jake Miller. Big thanks
Thank
to
you,
you
guys.
guys. Johnny, thank you so much for coming on the show. Sorry it took
Yeah,
so
thank
long.
you.
Really, really
was a
glad you came
blast.
on, man. Go check out Johnny everywhere: YouTube, Instagram, OnlyFans,
TikTok. He loves
Fans-
TikTok.
Facebook, Space Hey, Be Real, and
Space
Tinder.
Hey. Forgot about that.
Yeah, go check him out everywhere. If you don't follow Johnny, that's preposterous. Go check him out. We will be back next week, probably on Wednesday. We're working out the details on that, and we will talk to you guys soon. Dan is going to get the podcast out very early on Friday this week for the patrons. He has promised that. He
Oh
put his
God!
pinky
no.
out and we did a
Oh,
digital
I did-
pinky swear.
I did that.
No.
Okay.
No, this will be out Sunday for everyone. If you're a patron, you're hearing this now, but we will be back next week. So we'll talk to you soon. Everyone have a great week. Thank you for all the support. Goodbye.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love you long time.
Bye.
Kill it.